Good morning again. Here we have an American lamp which was used on traffic lights. Nowadays traffic lights are mainly LED, but before then they used tungsten lamps, and this is an example of one. Let me show you what's on what's it? It's a nice clean etch, there we are, by Philips. Philips in fact took over the lamp works of Westinghouse in America. Many of you may remember the Westinghouse name. I know I do. I came across it when I visited America when I was very young. But this lamp, as I say, when I say recent, it's not old, but it wasn't made like last week. You can tell by the brass cap and that. It is quite new. The reason the filament is low down with respect to the glass is so that it provided a focal point. If you imagine this screwed into a holder, and round that's the holder there with a reflector around there. The filament was such a range that it was a focus on that point to give the most efficient beam, and of course it meant that it was lower down in the bulb itself. This can also be found on this type of lamp in general. I know over here they were more or less done the same way. This is gas filled. When I say it's gas filled, as you can see from the first picture, I put it on the Variac. It was 130 volts. Obviously you do need a Variac over here in England, or a transformer. It's 130 volt, and it got very hot just on a low wattage, so that indicates to me that it is gas filled. Here you've got more on there. It's got traffic signal, 100 watt. This is exceptionally high wattage, I would have thought, for a traffic light lamp. But there we are, 100 watts by Philips. These were listed as 2,000 hours at 130 volts. Now, 130 volts is a little bit high, what is generally used in America, and I think the reason was to make the lamps last longer. Imagine having 120 volts in there, so yeah, you would definitely increase the length. Burning down to horizontal, or rather burning, it's based down to horizontal, so it'll be that way round to horizontal, which horizontal is obviously the way it would be when in a traffic light. Base down to horizontal. Obviously a single coil type filament, fairly rugged, with 5 supports. It's had a bit of use, you can see by the sort of crystalline effect of the filament. If it will show up on this, probably not. Actually, I'm going to try and not hold the stuff in my hand. I noticed yesterday, and I do apologise, some of the pictures I showed were out of focus, and I had a suspicion they might do that, so this is probably because I was holding the camera, which you obviously do, but I was also holding the lamp, so by putting it down it's fairly firm and it should be okay. Also yesterday I had an inquiry from one of the people who answered quick question, said, how can I list items such as world of telephones or lamps in the collection? The answer is, I just don't know. So if anyone out there's got any ideas, my knowledge, and I've told this before, my knowledge of computers is nil. I learn what I have to do, such as to put stuff on YouTube, eBay and stuff like that. Obviously I can send an email, but when it comes to things like pasting and forget it, I just don't understand it. I think it's probably due to the fact that I'm number blind, and it has held me back on such things as CNET. I wanted to get hooked up to CNET, got all the equipment, I've had help from one member, but unfortunately I just need a further help setting up one of the little boxes that go with it. There's no way I can do it. It's just one of those things, so I'll have to live with it, that I'm not going to be able to do it. And there seems to be no phone number to ring up and get word of mouth rather than on a bloody computer. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Anyway, I'm not going to have too much of a rant. Back to the lamp. So just recapping, traffic signal lamp, which was used on the old traffic lights, which used tungsten filaments. Now they've been replaced, or in the process of being replaced, using LED. They did at one time also use quartz halogen lamps, but I think LEDs have taken over, and this is what you now find on most traffic lights, probably on railway signalling as well. So that is more or less it. I say it's gas filled, Edison screw base in brass. Yeah. So if anyone's got any ideas about how to list the items, I can understand this must be a point, people wanting to say, someone want to know about such and such lamp or such and such telephone. Where do they look up? Yeah, so if there's someone explain this to me, I'll be very grateful. I'll try and help and make it easier, because that's what I look at life, is to make things easier, not more difficult, unlike the trend of what has happened throughout the years. Things have got worse rather than better. But anyhow, that's another story as far as I'm concerned. So once again, thanks for watching. And yeah, enjoy. Thanks again. Thank you.